Do you understand the difference between being shy or introverted and having social anxiety? It's quite an important distinction to know the two, or the differences between the two, between introversion and social anxiety, is knowing if you're one, the other, or both is quite important to helping you come up with strategies to be more confident and deal with social interactions. Hi, I'm Wade. I am an introverted person with social anxiety. I used to just think it was shyness. That was how I framed it in my head. I didn't know any better than that when I was younger. I just knew I struggled in social situations and I found it difficult to connect with people throughout my life. And so I would find solace in my own company and doing my own hobbies. And since going through life and the journey of life and discovering more about myself, I've obviously discovered that the I'm introverted, so I am an introverted person, so I have that introverted trait. But I also know through looking at different things, introversion can't on its own surely be a cause of such stress and anxiousness when I'm in a social situation. And it's not. Introversion in itself is more just how you deal with the energy of social situations. So an introvert can still enjoy social situations, but you need some time alone to recharge your batteries. You also may have some other traits and strengths, such as you really enjoy more in-depth conversations. You probably don't enjoy the just, hi, how are you? What are you up to? And, what do you do for a living? Those sort of really surface level questions can get a little bit tiresome or just unmotivating for you to dig into that conversation a little more and to connect. So you tend to want to go deeper, and that's a strength of an introvert actually, because you do like to listen and you do like to go deeper in with people, and doing that actually creates better connection, which is awesome. However, when you've got that introverted trait, but when you go into a room and you feel actually physically anxious, so you might go into a room and you might feel butterflies in the stomach, you might feel a little bit sick, you might get hot flushes when you speak, you feel a bit embarrassed when you speak, and just generally discomfort and disease, and you tend to go into a shell a wee bit. Fear is another one. So that side of things is more socially anxious, and that can have quite a major impact on you making those connections, because it's that social anxiousness which really hinders you and stops you from going out there for a start, wanting to go out there and connect, and B, when you are out there, making the connections that you need. And a lot of the time, what you'll find if you really focus in when you walk into that room, when you're feeling that anxiety, focus on what your head's doing, or what the voices are in your head, because we all have them, the inner voice, the inner critic. And if you're anything like me, when I was walking to a room, I'd scan around, I'd say, right, what am I going to talk about with these people? They're going to judge me. I've got nothing interesting or of value to say to these people. So it's I'm going in with a very negative me all the time. So that creates a block. It means my communication is blocked, and it's stifled by my own beliefs in my head and my fears. So I don't get that connection that I want and need as an introvert, that I would enjoy. And it's more probably pronounced in larger groups, particularly people that you don't know, more so than people that you do know, but that can still be a factor. So being introverted, as I said, it has its own advantages and some disadvantages, but a lot of advantages. So learning if you are just introverted is quite easy to handle. It means you can manage that by understanding that you have a bandwidth or a battery level that can get drained doing social events. So you can plan to say, okay, I'm going to the social event, but I plan to leave by this time. So I'll give myself 2 hours, and you can use that time knowing you've got an exit plan. You can put your full energy into it, and then after that 2 hours, you can leave and go back to your own sanctuary, back to your recharge your batteries in your isolated world at your own home, doing what you love to do, and just help recharge your batteries for the next time. You can also choose to connect just with one or two people in the room that you aim to get a deeper connection with. So you're not planning on talking to everybody. You just want one or two strong connections, and that'll float your boat more. That'll give you more self-satisfaction in the event, and it'll help you develop those skills to more social events that you go to. On the flip side, with social anxiety, that can be quite challenging. It's a harder thing for you to navigate, because a lot of the time you don't actually understand where those fears and where those feelings are coming from. And a lot of the time it's due to past trauma. It's due to you having created limiting beliefs due to an event that's happened in your past. And you may or may not be actually aware of that event, but it is forming those limiting beliefs, which are those voices in your head, the anxiety, which physically shows up in your body. That's how it manifests itself. So that requires a different set of skills or techniques to unblock and to move past and to heal, basically. So understanding that is critical, because if you realize you have social anxiety, and by the way, social anxiety isn't just for introverts. It's a common link, but extroverted people who love being around people can also suffer from some social anxiety in some way. So as it's knowing the difference between the two is crucial for you, because if you are wanting to overcome it, if you're wanting to create connection, then you need to know if you're just introverted and you can create those plans that I've mentioned, or if you have social anxiety, then you need to create ways of doing that. And that can be through researching different ways of dealing with social anxiety. It can be getting therapy. It can be grabbing a coach that can help coach you through the limiting beliefs. And that's the path I've chosen for myself. I'm doing self-coaching. I'm actually getting myself accredited in coaching, which I'm really excited about. It's learning those techniques and coaching people through the limiting beliefs to get results and shift their mindset into what they want in their life. So that's really cool. And I'm coaching myself on doing that to help me past my own social anxieties and my limiting beliefs. And the techniques are working really well. So that's great. But yeah, I thought today was just a video to highlight the differences between introversion and social anxiety, because I know there is a lot of confusion. I was certainly confused by the two. And once I had an understanding of it, I got a better understanding of myself. And I look back at my past and when I didn't understand it and why I made choices that I made. And I understand I missed out on quite a few opportunities because of that social anxiety. I allowed it to actually dictate my life, and that's what I've decided to change. It's no longer dictating my life. I am in control of how I want to move forward, and social anxiety is not going to be a part of that journey anymore. So as I said, I'm Wade from Unmasking Dad, this channel. Thank you for joining me today. If you've got any questions or comments on introversion or social anxiety, or things that you've learned, or anything that you might have had some advice on how to overcome, pop them in the comments below. I like to create a community that is sharing and sharing of knowledge. I think it's a powerful way to help people that have social anxiety and move forward, and understand that if you're introverted, you have many strengths, many valuable strengths. So just embrace those strengths and be the authentic you. So thank you for joining me, and if you've got any value out of this video, hit like and subscribe. Helps grow my channel and get the word out to more people like yourself. Excellent.